GSC3 helps cities worldwide with connecting to peer cities on concrete projects. We asked smart city leaders about their knowledge shopping list.
What I want to learn from other cities is
the definition that we have in place for our smart cities has the words, we want to solve real problems for real people. And with that, that's all people, not just people on one part of town or people on the other side, or a collection of people that like similar interests.
More pointedly to the topic of inclusion is being concerned that, again, we don't inadvertently create wider gaps, that we are being very diligent in our listening to what the problems really are and what people really need, and making sure that that is heavily factored into all the design thinking that we pursue.
So one of the challenges we're focusing on in Chicago is how we're working with residents and businesses in the city as we're rolling out complex IoT solutions, whether those are sensors or analytics platforms or more open data. It's really important to us in Chicago that our residents understand what we're doing around complex technologies, so they understand the privacy implications, the value of why we're making these investments, and really understand how they're going to be able to use these technologies or the information that they're producing to make their lives better in the city. And it becomes a challenge as the technologies become more complex.
We would really want to know what the citizens of our city, what they really need, what they really want, what they ask to make our city livable, attractive, safe. And so we are looking for other cities that have experience with citizen engagement, with activating the ecosystem.
I think the ongoing struggle is, frankly, there's many different things that the residents of Chicago or any city are focused on every day, right? Mostly they're focused on, getting to work and paying their bills and raising their children. So making your project relevant and interesting enough that there's time in their day for them to be focused on it. So we do struggle in making sure that our projects are relevant to our residents and are delivering value and aren't just a shiny tech object, right? That they really do impact their lives.
We're thinking very specifically about how to expand broadband to all New Yorkers. And so we're thinking about the different elements that, the assets that the city has that can be brought to bear, but also the private sector or community-based resources that can also contribute to that. So thinking very strategically in terms of our end goal, but tactically in terms of how are we practical in our approach to getting to that that target where all New Yorkers are connected to the internet.
We made an RFP, which is now almost going to be finished with the contract. And then the first step is, as part of the reconstruction of Scheveningen, that the IoT network is going to be in place. And then we have to build a platform on top of it, with open source platform, that we really have the foundation that companies and civilians can really put their Internet of Things objects onto itself. So that's the upcoming challenge for next coming year. Scheveningen is a large place, so when it's implemented, it's going to be the largest IoT network in the globe.
We're trying to figure out how to promote partnerships, how to promote thinking about solving the problem with the private sector engaged in that conversation, and oftentimes contributing directly, but sometimes not. But I think it's a matter of really trying to create the conditions where we have active participation and communication with the private sector and the community themselves to make sure that what we're doing is as well as it can be done, both in terms of the technology that's used, the resources that are brought to bear, but also at the end of the day that it's affecting people, it's affecting our customers, if you will, in the most meaningful way.
The help that we want to look is how can you bargain with companies to put the IoT deployments on it. And that's the thing that we're not completely worked out yet. Do we completely leave it free for people to put things on it? Or do we want to regulate and steer it in a little bit?
So for Atlanta, we're a few months away from standing up our first enterprise data platform. And we're struggling with really understanding what's the right data sets, right, that we want to populate in that platform from its initial launch that will that are most meaningful, right, to the community. Do we focus on mobility? Do we focus on public safety? Focus on water and the environment? And also the question is, how do we expose this data? In what form, right? Do our citizens in the civic tech community want to consume it? Should we build a suite of APIs, right? Should we allow citizens in the civic tech community to build their own APIs and publish back into the platform? So this whole concept of the platform itself, what's the right data, how can it be best utilized to enable the communities, is the question that I have that I'm looking for answers, right, from other cities.
So in Amsterdam we plan to tender a platform for mobility as a service basically, and where all modalities can link into each other. Mobility gets more comfortable, more sustainable, and more effective, I would say, cheaper. And we're looking for partners who can help us by creating this platform in terms of technology, but probably also in terms of business modeling, and probably also in terms of, hey, what's the role of the city and how should we play a role in the data gathering and API business?
On our shopping list, when we talk about knowledge, is really knowledge on mobility as a service. Same as Amsterdam, traffic congestion is really a problem in our cities, and next year it will be worse. So we need knowledge on that.
The city of Austin is one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. With that, it becomes a challenge to maintain the same level of services when city operations aren't growing at the same rate. And so it becomes challenging to meet the residents' expectations on delivering city services. We need to utilize smart city initiatives to allow us to do more with less.
Now, one of the challenges for the City of The Hague is to customize public services towards civilians and companies. At this moment, if somebody wants to get a passport or something else, they have to come to the town hall to get it. And we want to use digital means that people can apply digital for it. And the last couple of years we have been investing a lot in that. But at the same time we're looking for ways to bring the products directly to people at home. For example, with the parcel company, we're negotiating how to make a service that you can really deliver the passports straight at home from the people who are applying it, and other kind of services as well. So that's one of the challenges we are up to, and that we want to achieve within the next coming 4 to 5 years. The thing is, those kind of products are trust-based, so you have to guarantee as well that the one that is applying for it is really that person. Of course, with passports it's quite sensitive. You cannot have that the passport for one person accidentally is arriving at the neighbor's door and he thinks, oh, that's a passport, I'm going to fraud with it. So that is the challenge. How can you work out a system that is closed and really secure as well to deliver that service at home, at the right person, at the right time, with the right measures of security.
You know it's worth it when the residents in your city adopt the solution as their own and start to find new ways to use it that you hadn't thought of. That's when you know you've succeeded.